Hey there, storytellers, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. Welcome to 2022. Happy New Year to you all. I hope you had a safe and festive holiday season. But yeah, welcome to the new year of BookTube for me and my channel and for you all watching. And I have some goals to share with you. So today I thought I would do the New Year's resolution book tag. Without any further ado, let's get into this. It's going to be quick and easy, 12 questions sort of related to your reading goals for the year. If you want to play along, the questions in the original tag, or at least where I found the tag, I believe the original was taken down. So where I found the tag is going to be down in the description below. So yeah, that's that. Let's get into this. Question 1 is an author you'd like to read that you've never read before. And for this, I'm going with Patty Callahan, who wrote the book, at least, that I am going to pick up by her, Once Upon a Wardrobe. It follows C.S. Lewis in his early years, or at least that's sort of what the story is about. It's about this girl who tries to meet C.S. Lewis, basically, because her brother gets obsessed with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe and has questions, and she wants to provide the answers for him. But I think this is actually going to be my first book of the new year, and I'm very excited for it. So yeah, Patty Callahan, excited to read her. Question 2 is a book you would like to read, and for this, I'm going with Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuzniar. This, I believe, is a kind of Nutcracker retelling, I think. But I believe it follows one of the Sugar Plum dancers. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember the synopsis too well, but the cover is magical and it sounded really enchanting and just sort of winter magic kind of vibe. So I thought I would try this one. Question 3 is a classic you would like to read, and for this I am going to go with Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This is one I keep seeing just kind of come up. I keep seeing clips of the Greta Gerwig adaptation come up on my YouTube stream, especially because I keep watching them. So I think it's time that I need to get to Little Women, and I'm hoping this year is the year that happens. Question 4 is a book you would like to reread, and I am going to go with Avalon High by Meg Cabot. I just reread one of hers in December. You'll hear me talk about it more in my December wrap-up, but I forgot how much I loved that book, and I haven't forgotten how much I love Avalon High, but I'm just really in the mood to reread it this year, I think. So that is the one I listed as a one I need to reread. Question 5 is a book you've had for ages and want to read, and I don't know which books I've had the longest at this point anymore. They all just kind of sit there. So I picked one, and I want to read Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This one I know is set in this magical city called Weep, and I think there's a library. This is one I can never remember the plot of, but it always sounds really interesting when I read it. But it's been sitting on my shelf staring at me, as has the sequel, so I want to get to that one. Yeah, I've had it for a while. Question 6 is a big book you would like to read, and for this I went with The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I don't know what this is about. I just know it's a huge book. It's 1,000 pages, I think. I'm feeling kind of fantasy at the moment, so a lot of my answers are reflecting fantasy vibes, but I suppose we'll see. I might shift. Question 7 is an author you've previously read and would like to read more of, and for this I went with Jennifer Dugan. She wrote Hot Dog Girl, which I did really enjoy, and I have her second novel, Verona Comics, and her third novel, Some Girls Do, and I haven't read either of them yet because I've been slacking, but I definitely want to read more of Jennifer Dugan this year. I really liked her first book, and so I'm sure I will love the other ones. And there's another one coming out called Melt With You. I'm very excited for it. I mentioned it in my most anticipated video. So Jennifer Dugan, you're on my list. Question 8 is a book you got for Christmas and would like to read, and while nobody physically gifted me a book to read for Christmas, I did use some of a gift card I got for Christmas to buy me a book. So we're gonna go with that as my answer, and that is Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sulin Tan, and this was also discussed in my most anticipated video, so really go check that out because a lot of these answers reflect that because they're goals and I'm anticipating those books. So of course my goals are reflecting the books that I'm anticipating reading as well. So question 9 is a series you would like to read start to finish. You haven't done it yet. And for this, I went with the Shades of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. All I really know is this is a fantasy series, and it follows the guy named Kel, and he has a great coat, I know that, and there's different Londons, different colors of the Londons, and I think they all have different kinds of magic, and he can travel between them, and that's really all I know, and it sounds fantastic, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. Question 10 is a series that you want to finish that you've already started, and for this, I'm going with The Lord of the Rings, and here's why. Technically, The Hobbit is a prequel to that trilogy, but it is altogether a series, and I have already started it by reading The Hobbit, and I have technically started Lord of the Rings with the Fellowship. I just didn't get very far, so that is one, specifically the Lord of the Rings trilogy series, that I would like to finish this year. I have a lot of reading to do, though, because I'm not that far into it. Question 11 is multifaceted. Do you set reading goals? Yes. And if so, how many books are you aiming to read this year? And for this year, I am aiming for, I put 150 on Goodreads, and my logic is that last year I set my goal at 100 books, and I only read about, 63? And the year prior, I set it at 52, and I had read like 35. So each year, I actually get incrementally closer to actually reading 100 books. You know what I mean? By setting the goal farther than what I'm actually going to read. So I'm hoping that by setting it at 150, I'll actually read 100 books, and that would be pretty satisfying for me. But if I actually do 150, my mind would be blown. And last but not least, question 12 is any other reading goals, writing goals, channel goals, anything you want to share. And for this, I am saying abroad, yes. In terms of other reading goals, I have a reading planner. It's behind me. I'll knock everything over if I try to grab it, but it is the A Clockwork Reader reading planner. I'm in love with it. It's so like cottagecore and aesthetic, and it's just making me so excited to read for the year. So I can't wait to really use it. I started filling out some of the list pages, but I can't wait to start adding actual entries. And that has a whole page dedicated to reading goals, on which I was a little bit more specific. Besides the broad like 150, I decided I wanted to, I think it was like read 20 of the books that I already own, because I have a lot of books on my shelves that I haven't read. So reading 20 of them would make a pretty big dent, honestly. And then I said I wanted like 5 to 10 of the books I read this year to be about writing, and I want to say 5 to 10 memoirs or nonfiction novels. So, and then I think I set one around like different genres. So I did try to branch out and be more specific in my goals in that regard. So I do have sort of multi-layered goals that I'm hoping to reach reading wise, and it'll be fun if I actually succeed on any of them and can share it with you guys. Writing goals. I do have some writing goals. My main goal this year is to finish this gosh darn first draft of my baking story once and for all. I just need it done. And actually, if I'm being honestly and completely and truly ambitious to my Slytherin heart, I would actually love to get it to querying status, which would mean that I have to finish it very quickly and like cram my way through a whole bunch of edits. But even in my mind, being broad on querying status, I kind of just mean I want to get it to the point where I'm editing it. Even if I haven't quite finished and can start querying at the end of the year, I would still like to be like on the cusp of doing so that even if I haven't finished, I could like kick off 2023 with querying. You know what I mean? I just want to get it there. I want to get it to where I can start like really being in the world of like trying to get published, because it's on the tip of my tongue. I can taste it, but I gotta put in that work, man. I gotta do it. And then for channel goals, I do have some channel goals that I'm excited to share with you guys. The first being that I am changing the upload schedule, and it's both a good thing and an anxiety-inducing thing. So first and foremost, I'm changing the day in which I post. Fridays used to be fine because I worked at another job where I would get out much earlier in the day and I could still come home and film and put them up. But now the job that I work at, I don't get out till much later in the day, and it makes it very hard if I've fallen behind and need to catch up to actually like get a video completely done in one night and get it posted. So I am changing my main upload day to Saturdays, which today is a Saturday, so it was kind of fortuitous timing. But yeah, at the very least, I'm going to be uploading on Saturdays. But here's the thing. I'm also hoping to be uploading 2 times a week. That's a little overly ambitious, possibly, but my reasoning is that I have some core videos that I really like to do, but posting only 4 times, maybe 5 times, if there's like a lot of Fridays within a month, it just, I don't get to tap into some of the other ideas that I want to do as much. And then I kind of get lost because I lose creative mojo a little bit. And that's not to say I don't enjoy doing my core videos. I love doing my journaling. I like doing the wrap-ups a lot. And tags and stuff are always fun, but I want to kind of expand and do a variety of videos that I haven't really touched on yet. I'd love to do some more in-depth reviews, more analytical videos where I'm just sort of really delving into stories and story writing, more writing-based videos. So there's a lot I want to do, and I just think posting 2 times a week would really open up the canvas for me to explore it a little bit more. So while I'm not promising 2 times a week, I'm actually aiming for and hoping for it. I currently have a binder going where I've planned a large chunk of the first part of the year already, so it's looking good. If I can stick to my planning and filming and all that, I can do it, and I'm aiming for it. So I wanted to share that. You'll definitely be getting videos on Saturdays, and you might be getting them on Tuesdays as well if I can stick to my goal, which I'm aiming for. So look out for videos 2 times a week. And I have another slightly ambitious goal, but I haven't done quite as much work yet in terms of setting it in motion, and it is I would like to host a readathon at some point this year, and I do have a readathon in mind, and I have started planning, and I do kind of know around what time it would be, but because it's my first one, I'm still doing the sort of researching in terms of how to put it together and planning it, and I have to figure out a whole bunch of other things that go into it. But I did kind of want to throw that out there and see if anybody's interested in whether or not I host a readathon, because I'm thinking about it. So yeah, I have some very ambitious channel goals this year. But that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, do let me know by leaving a like down below, and if you want to keep up with me on all of my bookish adventures, you can go ahead and click the subscribe button, and of course I highly recommend that you ring the little bell because it will notify you every time I post a new video. And like I said, I'm aiming for 2 a week, so ring that bell so that you don't miss either of them, especially if I manage to stick to it. But for now, I'm going to get going. I hope you guys had a fantastic holiday, a fantastic new year, and I'm looking forward to everything that I can bring this year. I really want to share my creativity and my passion of stories with you guys even more than I already have. So I'm setting the intentions now. We're going to have a good year. We're going to do it. But I'll see you guys on the next one.